I've just been going through your elite prospects page, and I didn't realize you actually had like 2 links. I found 2 links back here before you got here, because obviously you played with Steve Peltier in Italy.
Oh yeah.
And
Pelts.
then,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
so I was wondering if you'd spoken to him about coming here.
No. That was strictly K-Wall.
Strictly
K-Wall. Yep. Kowalski and my brother are like our best friends. Growing up through high school, and I was kind of friends with my brother's friends as well, type thing. I knew K-Wall very well before, and that summer he gave me a call to get the conversation going, and it was. And then after talking to Corey, but K-Wall is definitely the key. People don't realize I was really close to going to Belfast.
Okay.
Really, really close. And that reason was first Dougie. So I played with Doug Christensen a couple years in the minors, in the American League and in the coast. And when he went to Belfast to coach, he would call me every summer. Ready to come? Gonna come over? And I already had a contract in place, and so that summer, I was talking to Dougie, and I was really close to going to Belfast, and I'm glad I made the right decision. I'm not gonna lie, I'll be straight. I'm so happy I made that decision. But K-Wall takes the credit on getting me to get to Nottingham, and I'm happy he did it. So.
And because obviously, if you were talking to Doug years before, the Elite League must have been on your radar to some degree before everything came together.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy. So actually, when it first got on my radar is you saw my resume. I played in 6 different countries. So I was all over the map. I was trying to visit every country, play in every country. I mean, so I was in Austria in Ljubljana with a team called Olympia for a month. I came back home and I signed with the Toronto Marlies. And right away, we can't come over to England, or went to Scotland, I'm sorry, in Edinburgh. And we stayed there for 10 days for our kind of our preseason. And we played Edinburgh and Hamilton Bulldogs, the Hamilton Bulldogs. Played Hamilton Bulldogs like twice, and then Edinburgh twice or something like that. It was a 4-game, and then we had a little mini training camp. So that was kind of my first taste of the British Elite League. And then after, like I said, Dougie called me a lot, and then just hearing through a lot of players. Lac Cootie is it's a small world overall. But I was hearing good things, and then like I said, after talking to K-Wall about Nottingham specifically, it made a lot more sense than say going into Belfast. Even though, like I said, I was before that I was close to that. I was going to Belfast. So.
And what was it that K-Wall told you about Nottingham that convinced you to come this way?
A lot of it was Corey, the coach. The fans played a major part in it. The support of the fans, how just the support overall for the Nottingham Panthers, and the town, because when you look at places when you're playing overseas as an import, you look at the town you're going to be playing in. You look at the stability of the team. Those are key things you look at. Fortunately, I played in good towns in all the countries I lived in. One team didn't know if you were going to get a paycheck or not. So when you ask a lot, the imports, it's a question on their mind, because there's some places that you can go to, and you can have a contract or whatever, but often you're not getting paid. You hear those stories over there as well. But that's just things, questions that players ask. And the big thing was, with the coach and the team, the town, everything lined up with, you know, he said obviously had nothing but great things to say about the organization as a whole. And that's what something I was looking for. Um, and like I said, he sold him pretty good and talked to Corey. We connected right away. I had a vision of what type of coach he was, you know, and it was an easy decision after that.
Now, when you finally get to Nottingham, you see the arena, you see the facilities, you see the city. Did it live up to the expectations that they'd laid out for you?
100%. Yeah, and more probably. The arena was amazing. It was amazing. The town, after that's always the excitement when when you're coming over to a new team is how's the locker room, how's the rink, how's the town, and it lived up to everything he said, and like I said, and some. The arena was amazing arena. The locker room was some unbelievable, great, unbelievable locker room. The setup there, the town, perfect. When you go into the city town, when you walk around, it's the city center and everything. Um, and everything was exactly what he said, what he told me, and as it went on, much more with the fans, from the teammates. It was much more than even what he was telling me. So the expectations, like I said, met and definitely delivered. And the 2 years there it was unbelievable.
And you've got a guy in the locker room as well who you played with in Slovenia, and Jason Beckett as well. So that must have made the
Yeah,
transition even easier with K-Wall and Jason being there.
Yeah. I think Beckett came after. I think we brought him in a couple games already into the season. Already knowing Beckett coming in, and then with the relationship with K-Wall, definitely made it easier knowing at least someone, because I played in Finland where I was going in, and there was 3 imports, and one was a Swedish kid, and the other Canadian kid wasn't there yet. They dropped me off in the middle of nowhere. I didn't know how to drive stick. I had no cell phone, no internet, and they said it was 2 weeks before camp. They said, "We'll see you at the rink in 2 weeks." I had no idea how to get to the rink. Couldn't drive a stick shift. And I was in an apartment with no internet, no phone, no Wi-Fi, no nothing. I sat there in the dark for about 2 weeks. But I don't know, trying to drive a stick at night and trying to teach myself. It was awesome. That was my first time. It was the first time in Europe. I didn't have any adapters, nothing. No, finally this Swedish kid knocked on my door, and he was kind of, gave me a hand. But I don't even know if any of the players knew I was there or nothing. I was like, see you in 2 weeks, get to know the town. I was 20 minutes from town. I didn't know how to drive the car. So it was that experience was to get adjusted. There, like I said, it was a lot. Coming to Nottingham, obviously, night and day. The welcome I got there, from the team, the players, and everything like that, and then into going to the season from the fans. Definitely out of all the places I've played, on top by far. And I played in a lot of countries, so in front of a lot of fans, and you won't match the Panthers fans at all.
And then you hear the stories from imports about how the British guys and like people like Goody really help new imports settle into the Panthers locker room, like people like Clarkey and Matthew Myers and people like that.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I'm sure you've talked to enough people and have heard it enough times. Um, you come in and you can go around that locker room with the British kids, and you can say one of the nicest, definitely Clarkey, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Stevie Lee, one of the nicest guys I've ever met. I mean, Matthew Meyer, they all were out there, were welcoming you. What you need, anything you need, I'm here. It was something I've never experienced before on any of the 7 years I was over in Europe on a team. it's something else. And I think that just goes along with not just someone's personality, you know what I mean, but how the organization, the players they have, and that are willing to go out of their way to make you feel comfortable right upon arrival. And like I said, I mean, those, I can go down the line, and everyone, they were just more than happy to extend a hand and made sure that I was comfortable, had everything I needed. Um, and if I didn't, you know what I mean, they were on top of and that goes, to the guys that played there before as well. Guys like Foxy, K-Wall, and those guys too. They were all the time making sure, that first little bit that, I was comfortable, and I was all set. So it was really a good feeling right off the bat, just making sure that you already had people like teammates like that are so willing to go out of their way, and it's just right. That's right off the hop. That's not even before a practice or anything. They're getting a hold of you. They're contacting you to make sure you're comfortable. And it's it's like I said, you can't get a nice, more I want to say, friendly, but I'm missing a word I'm trying to think of, but there was just, like I said, it's really important to me. It really means a lot, and they to make me feel comfortable coming into a new city, a new team, and everything like that.
You can really tell that when I spoke to Jordan the other day, because he says that if as the captain, he said if any player came up to him and said, I need this, he was going straight to management, and he was making sure that player got what they wanted to be happy. And he says that really helped in facilitating that group to be as close and to be as special a team as it was. When you got there, did it feel like because you got like guys like David Ling, Jordan Fox, Bruce Graham there, did it feel special when you got there, like this group would really achieve something?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it really did. Um, and Foxy was 100% right when if you needed something, he was going to management and getting it done. Uh, but yeah, it might be cliche as it is. You did feel something with that team, in particular. Everyone knows, kind of looks at people's resumes in the past where they played, and some played, maybe against each other back in the minors, or played on the same team, or known someone through someone. There's a lot of those conversations right off the bat. But with that team, you definitely felt something. Usually it takes a little bit for a team to get that camaraderie and that kind of partnership relationship going forward. But that we got close real quick, real. It was it didn't take long, and then and again, I think that just goes with the personalities you had in the room, the character. And when you see teams that are based off character, I mean, right, that everyone in that room would have gone out of their way right off the bat for the person next to him in the locker room. And when you get everyone like that on the same page, and all that character in the room, and everyone brings their aspect to the game, whichever it is, and when you get all that together, you get a special year. And that's what we had that year.
And you have that special feeling. Then you get that moment where Gui Lepine comes back into the team and people were trying to convince him to come back before. And then when he came back in, he added that almost that extra layer that the team just needed, that bit of toughness. Like Jason Beckett's a really tough player, but Gui Lepine's one of the biggest heavyweights in the elite league, and he has been the last 2 years that he came back here. What was it like when Lepie came back into the room? So you didn't know him, but when he came back in, you must have felt his presence.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was talked about through the locker room. So, and I knew he was going to be my D partner if he came back. So I'm like, yep, I'm going to have a toughest guy on my side. So yeah, I hope he comes back quick. But no, like I said, and when he did, you felt that presence right away. It was, was unbelievable. I mean, he had the reputation, and even with that, with this, tough as nails. I mean, one of the toughest guy in the league, but he can play the game like no other. I mean, as like I said, we were deep partners when he came in, and for the rest of the year. I mean, what a great player. And that definitely shouldn't go overlooked. I mean, hell yeah, he was tough as shit. And hell yeah, I felt safe playing with him. But I mean, he's great player, great defenseman. I think it was really a privilege playing with Lepine for sure. Like I said, we worked really well together. So when he came back, you felt the presence. I mean, I can still remember the cheer when he came back that first game and shit. Yeah, but yeah, that was big for the team that year for sure. For sure.
And then that year also like coincided with the NHL lockouts. You had these NHL players coming into the Elite League as well. You had Anthony Stewart on the Panthers. You had guys like Matt Bolesky, Drew Miller, all dotted around the league. And you and Guy were always seemed to be matched up against those lines when the NHLers were on the ice. It was always you and Guy up against those NHL players.
Yeah, we were there. Yeah, me and Guy were the shutdown guys. Yeah, I mean, like I said, me and Guy, left we were connected right off the bat as a kind of a deep pairing, and like I said, we worked good together. But yeah, I mean, some nights our job was to shut down particular lines, and Corey was matching us up with lines and everything like that. And yeah, that was our job. Defenseman job. Get the fuck out of your net. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of your zone, play in their zone. And like I said, Lep and I, most of the nights, yeah, we're matched up against, and it was a great honor to be matched up against those, the top lines of teams. Being passed, shut them down. So it was an honor.
And what did Stewie bring to that Panthers locker room that year? Because he was only there for a few months, but from what I understand, he made an impact when he was there.
Yeah, for sure. He brought that like power forward, that toughness that he had speed too. Wow, he could speed, and presence in front of the net. As a D man, putting pucks on net. Just battling the corners and forechecking. Yeah, he was like I said, he really, except for a big guy, yeah, he can go. But yeah, he definitely brought that kind of power forward presence that was an extra piece, that added to that team that year, and it definitely helped. It definitely helped for sure.
And I'm sure that then the season's like rolling on like nicely, and then I'm sure in the locker room the talk of it in Nottingham is always about there's always the December slump. That's always the thing that goes around December. Is that's when the Panthers start to tail off. Then you have that loss against Edinburgh at home, where you lose that game 2-1. Then Jordan comes out and has his interview where he says it's my fault, I didn't get the guys prepared for it. What do you remember about? Because that game seems to be the one that's credited with where the switch was turned with that team. That was embarrassing,
Yeah.
and they could, and that that cannot happen again.
Yeah, no, that's right. It was straight up Jordan Fox's fault. He's right. We're blaming it all on him. No,
that's going to be the clip to tease this episode now.
Yeah, you're right. His fault. He said it right. He said the same truth. No, yeah, that that 2-1 game. Did we pepper them with shots and still lost? Was it that game?
That was Corey's last game as well. He was a -2.
Yeah, he was. I remember that game. I remember we outshot him, and yeah, it was one of those games. We took that one hard. Really, we took it hard. So yeah, and I know Foxy doing right. He was up. Foxy was upset. Yeah, I remember. I remember that. So coming out of it being a good thing, yeah, I could say a turning point. Yeah, I mean those are the type of games you need. Yeah, every team is gonna go through them. So how you bounce back from it, You know, a lot of the big saying in hockey. There's always tomorrow. There's always another game, another day. So get over it and keep going. And that kind of shows what kind of team you are, how you bounce back, from a loss like that.
You guys really bounced back with a vengeance as well, because I think you went on a tear for the rest of December. You then took 4 points in that big weekend, Boxing Day weekend against Sheffield, where you kind of took the starring role in the shootout on the 26th. What do you remember about that game?
I remember the hype leading up to the game, and then kind of like the boxing game. I know it's rivalry, the big rivalry, but that game, I remember the crowd. It was out of control. It was an amazing crowd. The atmosphere was through the roof. So it was a good game. It was a good battle. It was a good fought game on both sides. I think I had an interview with Gary, and I said that. I said it was a good, even fight. Both teams were going hard. But yeah, the atmosphere, I remember right off the bat. Right, I mean, that was the talk and the build up to it. It definitely matched what it was going to be like. Like I was like, oh, geez, this is. So right away you felt it, and then going to a shootout, and I love shootouts. Shootouts is my favorite thing in hockey. I love shootouts. But yeah, when we had to go into a shootout, I didn't think it was going to go 3 rounds, but yeah, like I said, I enjoy shootouts, and I still watch that kind of sequence. I mean, it was 3 rounds, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
you had 3 shots.
Going on the 3rd round, and then I forgot the kid's name who was going first.
Limbright. Sean Limbright.
Yeah, Sean Limbright, and he was good at shootout too. And Tiller made a great save on it, and I remember passing Tiller going out. He was coming in, and I just gave him a little look, and like, I got this, but don't worry about it. Ending it right here. It's confidence you got to have in the shootout, But when I go in a shootout, I'm not flashy. I pull up and I see what the goalie gives me, and there's that shot about this much off the ice. That's the toughest shot for a goalie. And I help, the last couple of years I've helped coach, kids, 11, 12-year-olds. And I keep telling them, like, I'll put a target right here. I'm like, you can get this shot down. Like, it's really tough for goalies to save. So the Sheffield goalie knew what I was doing every single time. He just didn't know if I was going left or right. And so by the 3rd time I was going, he was guessing. He was guessing, and he guessed right, and I was going left. And I look at a few clips of my shootouts. I mean, I was in Italy. I think I went 9 for 11. Slovenia, they have different rules where you go through 3 players, and then the next player you can go every single time. And I literally went probably 3 times in a row, and that was the 4th time. So I mean, I was always involved in shootouts throughout the years, and I enjoyed it. And I had a little niche for picking that corner, and the goalie's going to give you one way or the other. And so when I'd pull up and see what he gave me, and I was shooting left or right. A lot of it was squeaking in. I think one year I hit the post and not in him. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy shootouts, and I remember there was a Cardiff one I scored, which kind of ended the game. That's a good feeling, getting called on in a shootout, and all eyes are on you, so it becomes you and the goalie. So those pressure kind of situations, I guess, I don't mind those at all. So, but there's nothing like that Boxing Day game though. That will be with me. That'll stick in my mind forever. Just throughout the whole experience, the atmosphere, the game, and then ending the shootout where I went 3 for 3.
Can't get better than that.
Throw a little shots in there. Yeah.
And as memorable as that night was, the next night I think you went to Sheffield and you lost something like 9-4, but that was the game where Kelsey tomahawked the guy in the stomach.
Oh my God, we were talking about that.
I talked about this with Foxy and everyone. It's such a. When I talked to Rick Strachan, he said from that moment on, no one in the league went near any of the Panthers because you got this, because that set out the biggest statement. And Gary got him a very lenient ban from that. I think he only set out 3 games instead of the 20 he probably should have got.
20. Oh yeah. Oh my God. How did I that was right in front of me too. It was right in front of my bench. I think it was after they scored. That was a tomahawk. How he got 3 games, I know that is amazing. How Gary said that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Kelsey was another kid, another we brought in, and what he brought that in tough. I mean, he was another kid. It was tough as shit. I mean, he come fly, big hitter, had that presence. But yeah, that tomahawk, if anyone saw it, yeah, that went around pretty quick, and that's a very true statement. Oh my God, that was bad. But yeah, who was that?
Simon Ferguson.
Yeah, Ferguson. Yeah. Oh my God, he got him good. But yeah, Willie, he made a statement there. Hey, yeah, glad he's on my team.
From after that game, you lost that one. Yeah, but you kind of kept rolling from there, and the momentum just kept coming and coming and coming. At what point did you feel like we've got this? We're going to do this? Because the one Jordan pointed to was when he scored that goal against Sheffield. Because that game, if they won, they were going to be 1 point behind you. But if you won, you stretch your lead to like 5 points ahead of them, and it starts to build a bit of a gap. And he points to that game as very specific. But do you remember a moment where you felt that this is going to go the way we think it's going to
go? I don't know if I can think of a moment, to be honest. You could just sit in the locker room and know that we had the pieces of the puzzle to do what needed to be done to win the league championship, you know what I mean, and the cup championship and the playoff. You looked around the room, and for me, it was that feeling is, I trust this. You go around the room, and I trust every single one of them as they have trust in me. That's going to go out there and do their job. And if everyone did that, things were going to work out. There's definitely a feeling that I didn't experience. I haven't experienced since college. I tell you the truth. And we won some championships in college, but you have that. And for me, that, like I said, try to pinpoint one single moment. I really can't pinpoint that moment. It was more of just the feeling, the build up throughout the whole year. You know what I mean? If someone was having an off day, an off game, which happens, we were so talented in there that someone else was stepping up. All the pieces were there. And again, I'll go back to character. Corey put together a great character type team. When you got everyone willing to sacrifice themselves for the person next to them and willing to commit, that's all the ingredients you need. And so for me, it was, all little moments just going through, you know what I mean? And it was tough for me to pinpoint, an exact game or moment. I had a feeling that it was going to be a special year. It was going to be a good year. That's all.
And then you had that weekend in Belfast where it was won, but I think the week before there was a game in Hull where the entire Hull arena was just crammed with Panthers fans, and it must have felt like a home game in there.
That was the amazing thing. Was you go on road trips and you'd see our fans. You know what I mean? And like I said, the support. that was amazing. Even in Belfast, the support there. Um, but yeah, all around the fans, it was. And again, coming from, I've played in a lot of countries, a lot of teams, and I'm in Dusseldorf, Germany, and we were selling out like 15, 18,000 a game. And I would, the Panthers, those fans, the Panthers Nation, whatever, outbeat any fan base with the support. Not, and that's no, yeah, not because I'm talking to you as a fan. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. Their support they show you, when you're at home and out on the road and off the ice. Um, you can't. I haven't seen any fan base beat that or even match it. So yeah, not surprising when at Hall playing a game like that where Panthers take over. The Panthers fans, yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome feeling as a player. Because that's what we feed and strive off of. For me, but I'm sure everyone would say the same thing. But yeah, the emotion, and, the atmosphere, that's what a player feeds off.
And,
So to see that in Hall, yeah, it's awesome.
and you go into that Belfast weekend, a win is going to seal this. In the home of the current league champions, the team that you almost joined,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
determined were you to get that done on that first game rather than the second one?
Oh, we so wanted to get it done in that first game and get it out of the way. That was, that was the plan. I think everyone looked around, didn't even say anything, and it was, let's get this done. Let's get it out of the way. Um, so yeah, we were determined to get it done. And I remember that play when Galley scored that goal. I think Benny made a great. I was at the blue line, and it was like threw the puck down low. It was scrum. Benny came out or went to Franny. Benny made a great pass to Galley, and Galley buried it. So I remember that exact play. Um, I think there's time left on the board still, but right there you thought like we got this. With killer net, and we had it. And if Franny had the open netter, right? I think. Yeah, and Franny had the open netter kind of was coming down to the wire, but right when Galley buried it, I was like, all right, like you felt it, you kind of felt it, you knew that, Gay Walls definitely wasn't letting anyone in any more goals, and we had the players to get it, to finish that up, and wow, what a feeling, get it done that game. Second game wasn't good with the players. Oh man, that was rough. But it was all worth it. Playing any bunch game is that after winning the league championship like that. So, but yeah, what a feeling to not just to say beat Belfast. I mean, like I said, I knew Dougie personally. You know what I mean? He's a friend, but yeah, you're right. It did feel a little, good, a little extra for me to know that, the team that I was close to going to, and I chose to go to Nottingham and, beating them in their own rink. So yeah, that was all around. It was a good feeling. It was a good feeling and a good time.
Because the Elite League's so different everywhere in Europe and North America, where that league championship is the big one, whereas everywhere else you're playing for the playoffs. So
Playoffs.
was it when you go through that grind, is it different feeling winning that championship to winning a championship season? Because obviously in the league campaign, every game is important.
Yeah, it's it's weird. It's that feeling of winning the league championship. It it definitely feels better. It feels more of a trophy or more of a championship. Because like you just said, you go through how many games, the back to back, the playing, and all those games matter. It comes down to winning that, that league trophy. And I think it makes it that much more special and especially in the elite league, that's what the trophy, that's the main trophy, the big, that is a huge accomplishment. Where in other leagues, it's you're first in the division, now you play this team in the playoffs. Where anything can happen. Any team, if you catch a hot streak, you never know. You know what I mean? So to know that your every game, every time you lace up the skates injured on the road, you know what I mean, pays off for that trophy at the end, and that one meaning so much. I think it makes it feel that much more of an accomplishment, and like I said, in uh, the year, that year that we did it, it you like, yeah, you felt that it meant so much. So you know, after winning playoffs, comparing the two, I think the league was for sure 100%. You felt it, a little, more. You know what I mean? Like that was the trophy to win. Yeah, because it just every game that that you went into, the ups and downs throughout the whole season, it all pays off. With that first place accomplishment and win.
I'm guessing from what you said about the locker room and things, that after you lifted that trophy, I'm guessing there was no doubt in anyone's minds in that room, we're going to win everything from here on out. This is not the only thing we're going to win this year. We're going to leave a legacy and clean sweep the board here.
Yeah. Yep. I think it was just, you knew what you did before. There was something special going on. But after sealing the deal with that league, I think it was just, yeah, this team, we were so close. We were so, that we knew we had everything. We were like, yeah, we got this. We're going all the way this time. We're clearing the board here. We're gonna take the cup. We're gonna go into playoffs. We're taking playoffs, and there's nothing. Yeah, no one gonna stop us. I think everyone had that feeling. So, like I said, it was a very special year. A lot of people probably said that, and, that on that year, but it really was. It really was.
And then you do take that Challenge Cup, you beat Sheffield for that, and then you roll around into the playoffs. What had you heard about the playoffs weekend? Because there's nothing quite like that anywhere.
Yeah.
With all the different fans in different pockets of the arena. What had you heard about going into that weekend?
Yeah, I remember hearing like someone telling me, like, yeah, you have all the fans, like these fans here and these fans sit here and these fans here. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't even know if you're gonna be in tournaments or the champion. What I didn't understand it really. It was confusing to me. But then going into it and seeing it, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a pretty neat way to do it, to be honest. Like I said, yeah, yeah, it was marking off, like, everyone's team, in the stands around the arena, and yeah, I liked how they do that. To tell you the truth, I like the one game knockout, to be honest, and I like that too. It was like for me, it was like back in college, the NCAA type structure, where you get in the Frozen Four, and you got your semis, you got your finals. You win, you move on. You win the championship. So one weekend, I love the structure they had there. And then how they had all the teams, I thought that was, yeah, that's pretty cool.
And you beat Cardiff in the semi-final of the playoffs, and it gets to that final week, that final day, that Sunday. You're going up against Belfast. You take the 2-0 lead because you get that goal that Lacko scored that I still don't know how it went in off the back of the net. You get the one that Jonathan Weaver scored where he just hammered that puck off that perfect pass from David Ling. Now they come back and fight back, but then in overtime they take that penalty, and they send out, and you're sent out, David Ling, David Clark, and Foxy.
Foxy.
What do you? Was that a moment where it was like, we're winning this now? This is it.
Yeah. To be honest, yeah. Yeah, I felt like this is the chance we go. We're gonna bury one. And like I said, I just see clip not that long ago, because you'll see it on the thing. But I remember getting the pass, and I was carrying it over, and Murphy their goalie, right, on Belfast, yeah, and he gave me. I saw an opening in the net, and I'm like, I got this goal. I think and split. I'm like, that's my shot, my shootout shot. Like, this is no problem. And I missed the net, and And I think Foxy said I missed the net by a couple feet. It just missed the net. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. Talking out of his ass. I missed it by a couple feet. I missed it on purpose.
Shooting for that rebound off the backboards.
Exactly. What is he talking about? No, but I did miss the net. But I mean, so I saw that opening, missed the net, and like I said, I saw it pop out, and saw Foxy took a swing at it, and I didn't see it go in. But and then I saw the cheering, and then just kind of blur from there. And I think after Linger even comes over and is like, "Hey, you had me wide open back door." I'm like, "Serious, Linger? Come on, buddy." I did have open back door for I saw the clip. I'm like, Linger was wide open on that. I could have dropped it right back to him, which it could have been a good play too. We had a wide open net, but it worked out. And like again, I would have finished to a great season. But when I heard Foxy and I was seeing it and I missed it by 2 feet, just missed it. It bounced out perfectly. I missed it about 2 feet. It would have wrapped around the boards and it would have went out of the zone. So I don't know what he's talking about. Missed it by a couple inches, but it worked out. Yeah, you're welcome, Foxy. Jeez, gave you all the glory. I should have buried it. Again, going back, you felt it when we were going out there for that power play. And, we're gonna get something here and make it count. So.
And then you mentioned David Ling. Have you ever played with anyone quite like David Ling? Because every time I get a guy who's played with him, they've all got a story about him, that something that he did or something that he made them do.
Yeah, no, I never played with someone like Ling. I love Linger. It was weird because right when I got to Nottingham, actually, Linger lived right above me, so we would carpool back and forth. So to the practicing back for a while until he moved, and I think Beckett moved in. So I talked when I won the graph. That was Linger. So I got you meet no one like him. He is just so funny. I mean, he's so much talent, and he goes on the ice, unbelievable player, and how he keeps it so relaxed, whether it be between periods before games, and controlling. But like I said, he's someone you love to have on your team in so many different aspects to the game, off the ice, on the ice. Keeping the locker room, when you're down, lifting it up, scoring those big time goals. He brought so much to the table, other than the crazy shit he he'd pull from riding his Zamboni. I don't know what the hell he was doing there, but it's funny as hell. I mean, but Linger's, there's no one like Linger. Yeah, there's no one like Linger. But I was happy to experience playing with someone. It was with Linger for that season. That was he's one of a kind.
And then after
he's
you won
he's still playing.
Oh, he's still playing. He's still playing. He played. He came with a Lacos testimonial, and I think his first shift he dumped one of our players from this year right on his backside. just went full up, checked him, sent him down, and everyone's like, "Yeah, that's what he does."
Surprised me. Yeah. Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. Nope, not at all. Yeah, I came back for Clarkie's, and I feel so like Stevie Lee's. My passport didn't get renewed on time. I was so upset. I didn't even know it expired, and I'm like, I'm like 100%. I'm in, and I send it in and everything like that. I'm waiting, and I didn't get it. I felt so bad. I missed Stevie Lee's testimonial. I felt so bad because I love those are awesome to come back to. Seeing the new players there, players that you played with, and players from the past. That's a great time. But I was very upset I missed Stevie Lee's. So next testimonial. Hopefully, I'm there. I'd love to, but so that's a great time.
You must have really.
I don't even know. You asked me. I forgot. Did you ask me a question before that?
No, I was about to.
Come
Then
on,
we'll
man.
yeah, that's it. You must have really enjoyed it in Nottingham because you won everything. Then you made the decision to come back again for another year. But you were quite a late decision to come back. From what I can read, it was like
Yeah,
July time you decided to come back. What led to
yeah.
you?
So,
What led to you coming back?
um, so I felt I had, a year left too. I got married that summer. Um, so the decision on, for being just getting married, you know what I mean. And she was living with me for just about 70% of the time, say the year before, or the year that we won everything. But she had a full-time job back home. So so no matter what, if I was going to play again, she was going to stay home, continue her full-time job. You know what I mean? Say if that will be my last year or not. But you know, eventually she needed to work, even keep her job and everything like that. So that was the reason why the late decision. It was kind of do I hang them up and find a job, or do I play another year, or what? And that decision took longer than I thought, to be honest. And got to a point where I just said, look, I gotta do what I gotta do. I feel like I got one more year left in me at least. And you know, you do your thing. You know what I mean? It sucks that we just got married, but hey, it is what it is. So again, but when that was through the late decision. It took a while, but like I said, I wanted to play one more year for sure.
Because then you also had like the carrot of the Continental Cup that next year as well. That sort of thing.
Yeah, that was a rough year. I had a rough year that year.
I think it was a rough year for everyone. Like that a season where everything went right, everything just seemed to go wrong for everyone that year. You had everyone seemed to get hurt at some stage. You got hurt really early on.
Yeah, I broke my leg 4 games in. Yeah, away too. Like we're on this one of the long trips.
It's like a five or something like that.
Yeah, it was fight. It's the first game too of a series, and I took that shot, and I knew something was wrong. Didn't know to what extent. Went out and tried to play one shift, and one turn, I heard it, felt it, and I felt my fibula snap. And so good and bad on that. I should have had surgery right away. I didn't get the surgery done and let it heal on its own, and it never really got back to where it was. And then later that season, I took that concussion, which I know I've had concussions before, but nothing like that. It was something that hit me later. I finished the game and on the bus, and then that was a tough concussion to come back from. I think I was out for a while with that, and that was kind of leaning towards all right. You know, well, when I went home when I broke my leg for a month and a half, then I flew back, and my wife gives me a call, and she was pregnant with my first son. So then, knowing that I had leaving her behind, and now she was pregnant, and like I said, being away, that was tough for me as well, as she moved along with the pregnancy, and I was away from her, and not being there. It was tough. So that year was all around was I know, like I said, for the team, it was a tough one to year all around with injuries. I know we have a lot of injuries. So I guess I'm talking more personally. But all around that year was we pulled off the cup. So that's probably the only good thing of that year.
Well, that was a that was a I was gonna say there was another magical night for Eric Werner in Nottingham still to come with that cup final comeback, because you go to Belfast, they take a 5-2 lead. What's the
Oh
feeling
yeah,
coming back from Belfast after they take that 5-2 lead coming back?
Ooh, that's that's a tough tough too. That because you know who you're up against, and you're down 3-0, going in, and you got you got to play a game. Gotta play. Everyone's got to be on their game, and it's a game. You go in, you get down two off the bat or something like that, or it's tough to recover. Like, I mean, it was just one of those games. Like, we everyone needed to be on top of their game that night. And yeah, we came out and pulled that one off. I remember that game now too. Now some things are just coming back to me. Part of that concussion. But yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, that was a great comeback game.
And even though it was a Wednesday night and you were 3 goals down, that and you speak about the fans and things, that arena was still packed out, hoping to see something special, and you
Yeah,
really gave it to them.
yeah, and that was the thing, and that just shows the support. I mean, right there, you're 3-0 versus Belfast. I mean, you know, and you needed something special to happen, and we were able to pull it off. That was a fun game too, really fun game. I'm trying to think of that final score.
So we won 5-1 overall. So it's 4-1 in the
Oh,
game. So I think
okay.
I know you scored in the second period. I think I can't remember, I think
Yep.
Peter Callis scored one. Matt Ryan scored the one that tied the whole thing up with a blast from the
Gotcha.
blue
Yep.
line. And then it goes all the way to the shootout, and then Callis scores that shootout goal and starts celebrating
Yeah.
in front of their bench. So I think he forgot that they still had another shot to go.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that. Did he do a fake shot too or something?
Yeah, he went
I'm not sure.
he went to the left, and then Murphy went down,
Yeah.
and he just roofed it over it. But when
Yeah.
it's come
I
down to
remember.
that final shot, I'm guessing you had nothing but confidence in K-Wall to make that tough, because he'd been injured that
No.
year as well. So it was a tough year
Yeah. Yeah.
for him. And like I said, everyone, I think Franny was playing on one leg. Benny had a broken hand, but he was still playing. Like, it was just everyone came together.
Yeah.
And that game kind of like mentally drained everyone from what I remember. Because after that, the playoff game was like straight afterwards. And
Yeah.
Brayhead took the win. But
Yeah.
that team put everything into that Challenge Cup final.
Yeah. 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 You're right. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot we had that many. We had Benny going down, who is the hardest worker you'll find on anywhere. Franny, I mean, and K. Yeah, three huge pieces, right? Yeah, but you can go down the list. Yeah, we had, like you said, it was, and you have those years. That's the thing. It's not unusual. There's teams that have, teams go through those years where it's unfortunate, and the injuries happen. It's hockey. There's going to be injuries, no matter what. Like I said, a big difference with the 2 years I played with the Panthers, is, yeah, the commitment, but the trust and depth. If someone was injured, we were just so, I think, stacked. You could say stacked, but the confidence that we all had in each other, that the willingness. And I think with the next year, when there's so many injuries and all that is draining, when you're playing short, you're playing, without players, like Benny, who's like, but every game will go all out. I mean, you count on him, every single game. Uh, it's draining, mentally. Like, again, hockey is, it's a mental game. It's, you know what I mean? Physical, most of it's mental. It's and when you're emotionally drained, it promotes it projects on the ice. So, and I think you hit it on the nose. That game we kind of gave it our all, and then I think everyone just was emotionally drained, just in general after that, and yeah, it's unfortunate that we lost the Braehead.
So
Yeah,
you
for
said that
the
you still
one.
came out of it with that trophy though. So in 2 years in Nottingham, you won 4 championships. So I'm guessing there are nothing but fond memories of your time in Nottingham.
Oh yeah, and yeah, 100%. My time overall spent overseas playing. Obviously, uh, you know, obviously the 1 year, hands down, it's not my, it's my career, out of my whole career was not, one of the funnest, most enjoyed, um, all around. But just in general, over time, the 2 years I spent in Nottingham, yes, was by far, you know, some of the best moments I had in my life. Besides having my kids, right
and
behind that.
getting married. Don't forget that one.
Oh shit. Gotta edit that out. uh,
I'm here for you.
oh
Don't
yeah,
worry. I'm here for you.
oh yeah, the wife. I forgot about her. No, but no, yeah, but seriously, yeah, yeah, I enjoyed the 2 years I had in Nottingham. Like I said, from the start, everything that K-Wall told me, to the end. Just talking to fans. Like I said, I just got on Instagram. A fan reached out, and I wrote right back to him. You know what I mean? And I'm more than happy to do that. Anyway, if you need anything, I just um, I'm sorry I'm to the IG game late, the Instagram game late, um, but yeah, like I said, like you can't beat the fan base. You can't touch the Panther Nation, that fan base over there. Not at all. Um, so it was yeah, great time, great 2 years. Um, Even the ups and downs that last year and stuff like that. Just overall, yeah, what a what a what a time. It was awesome.
Well, when this goes out, your IG followers are going to go through the roof. So you have lots of people to reply to, I imagine.
Yeah, hey, I'll play everyone. Follow me on IG. I don't know how to work it, but I'm like, what is this? Like, do you post this anything? I don't know. Dude, so don't. I don't know what I'm doing on there.
And you're still involved with the game, like you said earlier that you were coaching kids and things like that.
Yeah, yeah, just on the side. I tried it out for like a spring season. They were 9 years old, so 07s we call you go by birth date. So 07, um, and for the last 3 years I've been doing it just on the side thing, and yeah, I stayed away for a little bit from hockey because I had my own kids to take care of and stuff like that. So, but I started doing it on the side, when I had time, and I kind of like really fell in love with it again, and enjoyed teaching, kind of giving back, yeah, um, back to hockey and to our local community, to the local team, and it's been great. It really is. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Being a coach, yelling at the refs at 12-year-old hockey games. But no, it's I'm having fun with it. It's great. It really is. It's good to get at least back on the ice skating because I don't skate in too much senior leagues. One first year I did it, I got slashed more than I ever did. I playing pro hockey in my life. Um, it, they're playing like it was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup, playing against these guys.
Was it
Like,
Linger out there?
yeah, all lingers, just flying around hacking. But it was great. I mean, I had no shoulder padding, and all of a sudden, like I'm getting slashed. There's slap shots being taken, and they can't control their shooting. Kid got his jaw broken. Nope. And so I skate with my dad once in a while. My old man still goes at 67, and I'll jump on his team when he needs to fill in. Uh, but other than that, yeah, I haven't been. I don't do. I haven't joined the. Don't do the leagues. The coaching is enough for me, helping out with that. So, once in a while I'll skate up in Ann Arbor. A lot of ex-pro guys and stuff like that. And I'll get a good skate in, but that's once in a while. Once in a while. But yeah, for people that know me, that workout room and stuff like that, I stayed away from. Just get me on the ice. But yeah, it's the coaching is it's been real fun giving back. So I continue to do that when all this crazy stuff goes away.
And you speak about coaching. When you're time in Nottingham, obviously you're a defenceman. You must have spent a lot of time with Strax. What do you remember about Rick?
Strax, yeah. He kind of, he let you play your game. He really did. We had a game plan, that Corey had, and Strax knew, and he gave you your freedom, let you play your game, and when he needed to, what I mean, kind of adjust things, he did. But with me, we had a great relationship with Strax. I mean, he was great behind the bench. Like I said, him and Corey together were kind of perfect the way they worked off each other. Corey really saw the game. He was one of those players, coaches, what I mean, that visualized and saw the game really, really well. And like I said, and then kind of Strax feeding off that and kind of, controlling the back end, and he did a great job. And like I said, them two behind the bench, yeah, they did a great job for us. It was definitely an honor to play for Corey and Strax. It was great coaches.
Is there a moment from Nottingham that stands out as your favourite one? Is it that league championship, or is it that moment in the Boxing Day game? If you had to pick one, which one stands out the most? I'll let you pick a personal one and a team one.
Well, you just said the personal and the team. I mean, you yeah, the league championship team for sure. That was the best for sure. Personally, yeah, I mean the Boxing Day sticks out the most. Just the way it all fell into place, and having a 3-round shootout, in front of the atmosphere, on a boxing game, what I mean, how important that, and exciting that people wait for that game and having that finish and being part of that, that finishing with the game winner with the shootout. That sticks in my head right away, I guess. But there's more, I guess the personal things, and yeah, there's a couple of other things, but yeah, I'll stick with that. You answered the question. You answered with your own question. You answered it, so we'll go with that. But yeah, the league championship was.
Then say you can tell from the way you talk about Nottingham that you absolutely loved it. But did it make it a little bit more special that you won it with a friend like K-Wall?
Oh yeah.
Because you go through that with someone who it must feel a bit more.
Yeah, and I'm not sure a lot of people probably didn't know that that me and K-Wall knew each other very well, really well before this, the season and stuff like that. I mean, him and my brother are extremely close, and like I said, I knew K-Wall very well. So after now it's all said and done. You know what I mean? Like talking. I got to do a better job keeping in touch with former teammates. Sometimes I get caught up, and I need to do a better job keeping in touch. I still do as much as I can, but there's definitely a lot of players I'd like to keep in touch with more. But like I said, yeah, I would definitely win it with someone I knew for a long time before. It was added a little special, but yeah, a little more special, but But yeah, overall, yeah, what a year, what a year.
And then thank you for giving up your time to do this. This has been
Hey,
awesome.
I'm at work right now. I'm just hanging out at work.
So, have you got a message for the
still
Panthers?
working.
You're on
I'm
doing
no
some
quarantine
research.
here. Working. I'm an essential worker.
Have you
I
got a
am
message
working
for?
though.
Yeah.
No,
Have you
I
got a
am.
message for the Panthers fans to close all this off?
Um, I mean, my only message will be first is to thank them for all of the love and support they showed me over not just the 2 years I played there, but after. You know, they really are the core of Panthers hockey, and they do so much for the team. And more than that, I'm not sure if they know, but they in the last, I mean, walking out, not onto the ice, getting your name called and hearing the fans, and going on those road trips, seeing the support, it means so much for the players. So for me personally, I want to thank them, for that level of support they showed. And again, and I mentioned it before, every year is different. It's going to be those years where you're going to have those off years, and then you're going to have those special years. So no matter what, yeah, keep doing what they're doing because it means a lot to the team. So the players. So yeah, miss everyone from Nottingham, miss the fans, miss all my old teammates. So yeah, so miss everyone, and follow me on Instagram.
Everyone follow Eric on Instagram.
Don't know what I'm doing, but follow me. No, but hey, no, I appreciate it. I mean, anytime, I appreciate you reaching out, and I'm more than happy to sit down and talk anytime.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
So you're more than welcome. Take care.